23, like, Lord, could it happen to me? My brother was murdered December 2015. Death was someone he wasn't expecting to meet. He was expecting to be alive to see 25. I mean, he was expecting to live to see 2016. He was expecting to see the first month, his birth month, January. At 24, he wasn't expecting to be buried. He no longer has a future. And the scary thing about it is, could have been you or me. He didn't expect bullets to enter his chest, rip through his flesh, and his blood be the ink that permanently wrote him into history. He no longer has a future, but to all the young men alive, we still do. Now I have a few questions to ask. I mean, you have some options to choose. Do you want to be the one holding the gun, the one in front of the gun, or the one standing up saying we don't have to resort to violence to solve our problems and issues? Do you want to waste your life in prison, have freedom, or death? Tell me, what do you choose? Well, freedom is better than death and prison. In death, you have no future, and in prison, your future is spending time confined to the same sex. Really, does that sound exciting to you? And the way you see a lot of us living, we only have two options, really. We only have two options, death or prison. Her Majesty's prison or cemetery. Our face behind bars, or our face in the obituaries. And you know the usual. They're gonna put our face on a shirt caption, R.I.P., going through someone in loving memory, or hashtag free my brother. But what about our fatherless children, our torn apart homes, our heartbroken fathers and mothers? What happened to the sanctity of life? And of course, many of us would choose life over death, period, regardless if they're in prison or free. But I mean, you would take a life and still want to live. I mean, we really have a terrible reality, because I couldn't imagine always having to watch my back. I have to stay strapped because that would get me. I couldn't imagine literally having that kill or be killed mentality. And you know, if they can't get me, what's next? They're gonna get my family. So that's more blood on my hands. That's more blood in these streets. That's more tragedy. But an eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth. Retaliation is a must, and payback is sweet. I guess we love these bloody cavities. I guess we love these bloody cavities. But I still have a few more questions to ask. Why, when you catch a case, that's one of the only times you really could pray? And why, when you get shot and you think you're about to leave us, that's the one time you could call on Jesus? But I mean, I'd call on him too if I thought I was taking my last breath. But why do we stand for unrighteousness and unholiness and glory and mediocrity? I have a better question. Why do we think it's righteous to live unholy? I have the answer. It's because we're confused by sin. The devil is out to destroy us, the seed, yes us, all the young men. But all is not lost, people. We still have a few young men who stand up for righteousness and holiness and who worship in spirit and in truth, who stand up for God and doesn't care about the world's point of view. I'm one of them, and young man, I still have a bit more to say to you. I don't know much about gangs, but I know one order isn't God's order, and when it was raiders could never save us, and fire and death and all the rest can give you life, bro.
Yo.
No man on earth could blow breath. The wages of sin is still death, and salvation is still free. That's exactly what the devil wants. He wants us to die. He wants to kill us, you and me. That's exactly what he wants. He has us for his pawns. But Jesus is still mighty to save. Jesus is still mighty to save. Salvation is still free. And it's extended to you right now, just how it was extended to me. Now I have a few last questions to ask. Young man, where will you stand in the end? Where will you be? Will you come to God now and flee from sin? Or are you comfortable with the enemy? Young man, make a choice. Where do you stand? Where will you be? Will you come to God now and flee from sin, or are you comfortable with the enemy? Young man, make a choice. Where do you stand? Where will you be? Because real talk, 25 is our life's expectancy. Thank you.
Yo.